Hi, welcome back to Box of Delights and welcome to our playthrough of the Ming Voyages. This is part 2. If you haven't seen the first episode, go back and look at part 1. It's where we cover most of the rules. In this episode we're going to finish through the rest of the game as we demo the solo playthrough. Just before we begin, I've noticed throughout this first era, whenever the Overlord takes a turn and there's two cards of the same CP, and maybe he has to choose between these two, you pick the lowest or the highest number. Every time you do that, you're supposed to switch to tiebreaker, and I keep forgetting. So I'll put a note on the video to show you when it happens. But yeah, look out for it. It's the tiebreaker that I tend to forget. I think I'll notice at the end of the first era, and then I think I'll correct my behaviour. But yeah, whenever you use that tiebreaker, switch it. All right, on with the game. It's the start of my turn, and I'm ready to play a card. And last time I was left in a little bit of a quandary because I'd completed voyage number 7 and the aim was to force the Overlord to play this card here, the highest numbered number 3 CP card, and then I could take the event on there. But they've switched to lowest, so they'd actually play this one here. So although these two cards here would mean they don't get a reaction, I actually quite like them to get a reaction in the hope that doing so would push that over there. So let's see how this plays out. And to that end, I'm actually going to play this Skirmishes 3 card for 3 CP and recruit 3 units here in my homeland. So that's a level 2 reaction. So we've got 2 chances of them actually switching this thing over. Let's see what they do in react. Okay, gather 2. This says take exactly 2 settlements from the supply and place them in a single homeland. First choose the homeland with the least settlements. They're all equally least. If equal, choose the one with the most hordes. Okay, that's this one here. So we didn't get them to use the tiebreaker just yet. Now they're going to play a level 1 event. Maybe this time. It says move 1 horde into the most favoured adjacent empty or barbarian controlled borderland. There's only 1 barbarian controlled borderland. So that means they'll move 1 from the Western Mongols or 1 from the Eastern Mongols. It says adjacent homeland is first priority, so what that means is if there were any here, second priority would be moving them from adjacent borderlands. Right, so they're trying to move things out of their homeland first. And now we've got what we're looking for. To decide whether to move from here or from here, we use the tiebreaker. So it's the westward homeland, and this switches. Perfect. Great. Overlord's turn. He's going to play one of these 3 CP cards. We've now got tiebreaker over here. It's going to be the highest numbered. This one's number 27. So it's a 3 CP event. Let's hope he just doesn't reserve with it, then we're good. Alright, build 3. It says move exactly 3 settlements from the eligible homeland with most settlements, this one, into the adjacent barbarian controlled borderland, none, with least hordes. Okay. If it's not possible, discard and take another. Okay. He's got to control this before he can start settling it. Attack 3. Choose the most favoured target. Alright, now we're cooking. Let's remember, most favoured is the one that could be attacked by the most pieces. So 2 here, 2 here, 3 here. So this one's going to be the most favoured. The Gansu borderland. Move up to 3 hordes from adjacent homelands or borderlands according to the attack priorities. Now remember, unlike moving, where you can move from one location to one location, when you're attacking, you're attacking one location but from all adjacent places. Right, and they've got a card in reserve, so this is going to be a painful attack for me. What's interesting is learning how the Overlord might use his reserves. If he throws a double or a triple, he won't use it. If he uses a single, he's going to use that card. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, that's a single. This was a 2 CP, so they're going to get 2 rerolls. First off, they're going to reroll all their dice. Double sixes will do. They've got 1 reroll left, and what they'll do with that reroll is trying to convert that double into a triple. They'll get 2 shots at this. So 1, it's a 4. But double sixes means if we roll a double 6, that's a standoff, neither player loses anything. That'll be good for us because they've gotten rid of their reserves. We roll a single, that's a devastating blow on us, and we lose 2 units. We've only got 1 there. So we're looking for a triple, really, to take out 2 of their hordes. And wow! Double sixes. That's a standoff. So we do roll again. Now we should have rolled the green dice, shouldn't we? Not that it matters. Okay. Reroll for them. 3, 4, 6. That's a single. And then for us, there's no reserves now. 6, 2, 1. So we've both got a single 6. That's another standoff. Keep going, round after round, until somebody comes out victorious. As it goes, we could just roll all these together now, so we've got no CPs in reserve. So that's a single 6. That's a single victory for them. We got single 5. Okay, so they finally took out our troop. That's the attack concluded, and now they'll get to play a level 1 event as well. Okay, gather 1, it says. Take 1 settlement from the supply and place it in a single homeland. First choose the homeland with the least settlements, and then if equal, choose the one with the most hordes. If still equal, use the tiebreaker. Okay, so gathering, I'm going to use the tiebreaker because it would have been one of these 2. I'm going to go, because it was east, the easternmost of these 2. Alright, now he's got settlements he can build in the borderlands. And finally, we can take a reaction. So we could, we've got Voyage 7, this is 7. It says, look at the top 5 cards of the discard pile, take a 3 CP from these cards and play the Ming Empire event, ignoring the voyage number requirement. Choose a barbarian controlled borderland adjacent to one you control. So adjacent to one, let's choose this one, the one that they've just moved into, and we'll roll 3 dice. Oops. We're looking for values higher than 3, because there's 3 hordes. We got 1. If any roll is higher than the number of hordes, they lose half, rounded up. Half of 3 is 2 rounded up, back to the supply. And that we like. Okay, swap hands. Draw 2. And now I feel like attacking and kicking them out of here. So I could play a 3 CP event. We've drawn another 3. But what I think I'll do is get rid of this one here, this betrayal, and place it as a reserve. His turn. He's going to play this number 2. So a 2 CP event. Move exactly 2 settlements from the eligible homeland with the most settlements. So exactly 2, and they can't move into an adjacent barbarian controlled borderland yet. So if not possible, discard and take another. Right, attack 2. Choose the most favoured target Ming controlled borderland and move up to 2 hordes to attack it. So it's going to be these 2 into here. You always leave at least 1 horde behind in a borderland, so those guys are staying put. Remember, I've got a card in reserve this time. Attacker always goes first. So we may need it, we may not need it. Let's see. They got a single 5. we got a single 5. So we could use our 3 CP reserve. I like using these cards in reserve because it gets them out of the game. These events will never get used. It's the only way to really avoid these bad events. So should we go for a reroll, try and get the double? Yeah. We could keep our 5, or we'd just roll all 3. 6, 5, 2 could knock one of them out. Or I could roll again and go for doubles to knock both out. We've got 2 more rerolls. Yeah, I think we're going to go again. Double 6s, yeah, there we go. That'll do it. Alright, so they lose both their forces. Perfect. This gets discarded. Okay, that's their level 2 attack done. And then they do a level 1 event. Okay, amass. Take 1 horde from the supply and place it in whichever the homelands 1 and 3 has the least hordes. Well, they both have least, so we're going to go for the tiebreaker, which is west. Okay. Now we get to react if we had voyage number 2 completed, which we don't. Okay, move on, switch hands. It ticks along pretty swiftly, right? There's 20 cards in this deck, so 10 rounds per era. Now, one thing you'll notice, I've made life incredibly difficult for myself. I've got no gold and no junks, so I can't voyage, and I need to voyage to get these events moving. So let's grab 3 junks. He gets to react. That's a 2 event reaction. If the Barbarian Overlord has 0 or 1 cards in reserve, then reserve the played main deck card, whether played by me or by the Overlord. Okay, that's fair enough. So that's going into reserve. It's 3 CPs though. And then his 1 reaction. Choose the most favoured target Ming controlled area. It will be this one. This is the only horde that can move in. And we're going to move 1 horde and attack. Alright, or he is rather. Right, and he's got 1 CP, or 3 CPs, 1 reserve card. Right, he's going to roll again using these 3 CPs. 1, 2, it's not helping him. 3, no, came off badly. Okay, and then defense roll for myself, and higher than a 4 we need. Double 4s, perfect. Back it goes. Right, a failed attack attempt. Now his turn, he's going to play highest 3 CP, which is this Famine 3 card. That's 15, that's 12, yeah. Alright, so it's a level 3 event. Reserve 3. If the Barbarian Overlord has up to 2 cards in reserve, then reserve the main card played. Okay, and then our level 1 is attack 1. If no hordes available for attack, there are none. Okay, do nothing. Alright, that wasn't so bad actually for a turn, so I'm quite pleased with that. Swap hands. Draw 2. We do have a possible event here. The top 5 guards take 2 CP card and play the Ming Empire event, ignoring the voyage requirement. So Politics 2 is a good card. So I might actually play this event. Take 2 and grab this one here. And it says take 3 gold from the supply and place them in the Ming Empire homeland. That's pretty good. That's a 2 CP reaction, which is an attack 2. And we already know he has no hordes available for attack. So yeah, can't do that one. That's just going to get discarded. Now he takes his level 1 events. This is exhausted, so we give it a shuffle. And draw. Okay, attack 1. Okay, we know he can't attack. Alright. Now Overlord's turn. Now, this is interesting. They're all level 1s. He's going to play the highest. 13, 19, 7, 1 is playing this one, so there's no reaction for us. But it's just a level 1. And let's see what he gets. It's a build 1. Move 1 settlement from the eligible homeland with the most settlements onto an adjacent barbarian controlled, which he can't do yet. He's not got control here. Oh no, there's one here. This is an eligible homeland, and he's going to put it in the most eastward one. Yeah. Perfect. Right, no reaction for us. Swap hands. Now we've got a bunch of 1s, which is not great, but we're hoping we're going to draw into something, which we do. And it's got a good event here. Barbarians lose up to 3 settlements from 1 borderland. So we could get rid of that and push that back. Or we could voyage. We know he's going to go play this card, so we could go in here, grab some more gold. Maybe that's what we do. Yeah, voyage. Let's do this. Raids 3. And we're going to voyage. I'm actually going to just use 1 gold, and we'll take all of our junks. Because it's a 3 CP card. I've got 3 dice to roll less than a 4. Okay. Phew, we got it. We got a 1 in there. Alright, we sneaked it. So we lose that gold. These 2 junks go back to the South China Sea. Job done. Okay, he does have a react. A level 3 react. Which is a 2. Alright, amass 2. Take exactly 2 hordes from the supply and place 1 in homeland 1 or 3. Whichever is the least, use the tiebreaker. So the westmost, and then the second one in Eastern Mongols. Perfect. Now he reacts with a level 1, and it's a reserve 1. If the barbarian Overlord has no cards in reserve, he has 1 at the moment. So yep, we've avoided that. Awesome. His turn. Now he might have a big turn here. It's going to be this level 3. See what he does. Amass 3. Take exactly 3 hordes from the supply. And place 1 in each barbarian homeland. Okay. He's building up to attack now. And the level 1. Attack 1. Choose the most favoured target and attack with 1 horde. Right, he's definitely going to do this. So you can put 3 in here, 2 in here, and 4 in here. So that's the most favoured. Oops. Move 1 horde to attack though. So he's going to attack with the westernmost. And he's got some CP to spend as well. Let's see how this plays out. He's got a 6, 5 and a 1, so he's going to use his CP, 3 of them, 3 rerolls. Double 5s he's going to keep. 2 chances of getting a triple. No. Okay, we've got nothing in reserve. We need to beat double 5. Whoa! These green dice are working for me. I'm not going to argue with that. Crack in. Alright. Let's swap hands. Draw 2. A 1 and a 2. Alright. Now I think I'm going to Voyage again with this Skirmishes card. So it's a 2 CP card. I can't play the event just yet, but I'm going to Voyage with 2... Do I take all the gold? I think I do. To Ceylon. So I need less than a 4 with 2 dice. Yep. I don't want to push it too much. Alright, we made it. A 1 and a 5 we got. Okay, we lose all the gold. We've now completed 4 out of 7. Okay, they get to react. 2 CP is only a 1. Take 1 settlement from the supply and place it in a single homeland. First, choose the homeland with the least settlements. One has 2. That's in there, isn't it? If equal, choose the one with the most hordes. This middle one. Okay, no tie break. Now it's their turn and they're going to place this Rumour 2. A 2 CP event. Move 2. Move up to 2 hordes into the single most favoured adjacent or empty barbarian controlled borderland. That's one of these 2. Now we know that most favoured, when they're controlled by the Ming Emperor, one they can move the most hordes into. Most favoured Overlord borderland is first an empty one, trying to fill up empty spaces. And next will be borderlands adjacent to the most troops. And that's troops in borderlands, not these 3. So these 2 are equally favoured at the moment. So we'll use the tiebreaker, and the most easterly is where they'll go. So now it's a level 1. Amass 1. Take 1 horde from the supply and place it in whichever homelands 1 and 3 has the least hordes. And they're equal, so we use the tie break once more, this time then the Western Mongols. That completes the Overlord's turn. Now this has a reaction which we can play. Move up to 2 hordes from a borderland into an adjacent barbarian-controlled borderland. So if we wanted to, we could spread those out for him, but we don't want to do that. What I might want to do is actually clump them up over here and empty the Szechuan. One other thing to note, in the multiplayer game, when you play a card, you can insist that your opponent plays their reaction before you take your stuff. In the solo game, it's always after. You don't have the choice. Right, swap hands. Draw 2. There's 2 left, so 1 more turn left of Era 1. We've drawn a bunch of duff, haven't we? 4 more completed, 6 move up to 2 settlements. I think we're going to use this infighting one. It says barbarians lose 1 horde from a barbarian homeland back to supply, and it requires 4 or more completed. We do have 4. So let's play this event. Just send 1 back to supply. So actually that last reaction didn't really help us. No reaction event for them. Now they're going to play the highest, which is this one here, which has a reaction event for me. So as long as they don't reserve it, we're good. That's a 2. Let's shuffle these up. And they get a move 2. Okay, they're fighting back. Move up to 2 hordes into the single most favoured adjacent or empty. So they're actually going to move back into the Szechuan. And they'll use homelands as a priority. Okay, now the level 1 event. Move 1 into the single most favoured. Strangely, there's no empty. They're going to do something like this. And now we get to react. So we can take this reaction. Barbarians lose because we've done number 6. Barbarians lose up to 2 settlements from one borderland back to an adjacent chosen by us. So that can go back to the Eastern Mongols. Okay, switch hands. And we draw 2, which triggers the final turn of the era. I've got 2 2s, so if I leave them with 1, I think I want to leave them this one, which means I'm going to play this one. I can't play the event, but I can play the 2 CPs. I think just grab 2 gold, or do I want to attack? I could even put this in reserve. I'm going to put this in reserve, and then maybe we'll attack them next time. Oh no, I can't put them in reserve. I can't put them in reserve because at the end of the first era, anything that's left in reserve just gets cleared away. So no, I'm going to play it. It's an important rule to remember. We're going to grab 2 gold. And they do get a reaction. It's a 2, so a 1. Take 1 horde from the supply and place it in 1 or 3, whichever is least. This one here. Okay, now their event is going to be lowest, and I keep forgetting to move this when I do this. I don't know why. And it's number 1, this one. Okay, tax defaults. That doesn't help us, that's the worst one. It's the only one without reaction on it. It's a level 1 event. We have to shuffle. And draw. It says build, move 1 settlement from the eligible homeland, so this one, into an adjacent barbarian controlled borderland with the least hordes. So in here. Okay, that ends the era. First we swap cards, so we start with 3 and the barbarian 4. Any cards in reserves will now get grabbed and shuffled in with the discard pile. So yeah, reserving was not not on the cards. Shuffle this up. Now when this draw deck runs out for the second time, we'll continue playing, and we'll continue playing cards, swapping hands, but we don't get to draw 2. This deck will be empty, right? When we're left with just 1 card, then that indicates the end of the game. Assuming no one has claimed a victory prior to that. So as it goes, it looks like we could seek down that victory before the end of Era 2, because we've done a good job of holding things back over here so far. But we are only playing easy mode, right, the simplest level. And the second thing that happens when we end an era is we flip over this CP2. So now if we play a CP2 card, they'll be playing a level 2 event as a reaction. So that will step things up a little bit for the Overlords. So let's draw 2 cards and push things off. Now I do have a couple of gold here. Now what you'll notice, there's only 2 junks left in the supply. So as we get closer to that end, it becomes more difficult to voyage, and we're going to rely more on golds. Such a clever design, this game. It's simple and superb. Really good job, Dave and Alan. I'm really impressed. And yeah, lots of challenges here. Okay, but I do want to voyage. I'm going to try and see if I can't get that quick victory. Number 1 is where I want to go next, so I can use this to help me. So I know that they're going to do pestilence, which means I can react and withdraw some hordes. Yeah, I think we've got this container. We might try and rush for this end victory if we can. Now why don't we use this one, 2 CP, grab 2 junks. Let's get them all out there sort of ready to go. He's going to react. A 2 CP react is now a 2 event. It says take exactly 2 hordes from the supply, and we're going to amass, was it 1 and 3, whichever has the least hordes, otherwise tie break. So one here and then the second one here. You start to get familiar with what these events do as well. And then a 1. Horde from supply, 1 and 3 has the least. So yeah, he's amassing lots of hordes. So it's not going to be easy to go for that rush as we might have thought. Okay, now he's going to take his turn and play this one. Oops. Which is a level 2. Attack 2. Right, so he's amassed and attacking. So most favoured is going to be this one, because he can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. It says according to attack priorities, so attack priorities is evenly from homelands, starting with the homeland having the most hordes. So like this. Alright, it's only an attack 2. Resolve the battle. Let's roll. No one's got anything in reserve. So we are a little bit at risk. So that's a 6, a single 6. Any double will do for me. No, we got a 5, so we're going to lose. We're going to lose a troop. So at the moment, that rush victory is looking like the Overlords. Right, that's his 2. Let's do his 1. Attack again. Choose the most favoured target. Ming controlled borderland. So we're going in again. So we've got 2 from here, 1 from here. So it's, yep, 2 in here. Same again. It's looking dodgy. And an attack 1. That's a 6. A single 6. Come on, doubles, please. Yes! We've got him. He's out of here. I love the drama of dice. I always love the drama of dice. Okay, job done. Right, now we get to do this reaction event. Withdraw half rounded up of hordes in a borderland. So where do we want to withdraw from? I think we're going to withdraw from here to stop this one coming into the Shanxi. Okay. Switch hands. We've not got a great hand, have we? Well, we might get some 3s now. We do. We do. I'd like to go voyage. So I'm going to go into number 5 with 3 ships and 1 gold with 3 dice. So we need less than 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we got it. Good job. Right, 1 gold spent. We've now opened up number 5. In India, 2 more to go, and they've got 2 more to go. They don't get a react off this. So it's their turn, and they're playing raids 2. Okay, so a level 2 event. Build. Move exactly 2 settlements from eligible homeland. So we've got 1 here, so that's not exactly. So that's going to get discarded. You can't do it. Redraw. Gather 2. Take exactly 2 settlements from the supply. There's only 1. Keep going. Amass 2. Take exactly 2 hordes. And place in 1 and 3, whichever is the least. Otherwise use the tiebreaker. And the second one here in number 2, the Eastern Mongols. Right, and event number 1. Reserve 1. If we've got no cards, then reserve the main played deck card. That's a shame, because I wanted to do this. Alright, the hordes are amassing. Swap hands. Draw 2. I'd like to voyage again. But I also need some more gold. So we might just play this event. Affluence 2. Take up to 3 gold from the supply. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. He gets a reaction. Reserve 2. If he's got 0 or 1 cards in reserve, then reserve the main played card. Okay, he's building up for a big attack. people. Level 1. Attack 1. So he's going to attack here. Is he? No. It's going to be here. Attack 1. And here, the Shanxi. And he's got lots of cards in reserve. So this is looking a bit dodgy, isn't it? Because he's got a card in reserve. Right, 641. He's going to play this. 2 CPs. 541. Go again. 541. So that didn't help. So I'm going to go to the next reserve card, which is another 2. That was 541, by the way. That was 6, and then one more. No, well, they got a single 6 out of it. Not great. We got no cards in reserve. We need a single 6 or a double. Yes, and my double 6s did me. That green dice did me proud. Always, always. I think they got glue stuck on those number 1s or something. Alright, I think that was just their reaction, wasn't it? Yeah, so now they're going to play skirmishes too and have another crack at me, I think. So another level 2 event. Attack 2, yes. Most favoured borderland. 1 here, 1 here. These guys aren't helping. So yeah, it's either here or here. It's this one because of the tiebreaker. So let's go again. This time they got nothing in reserve and they've got a single 5. And we got double 4s. Whoa, we are rolling lucky. We are rolling lucky. Okay, then they're level 1. Amass 1. And they're going to amass 1 over here. And we get to do the reaction. Choose a barbarian control borderland adjacent to one you control. This one. Roll 2 dice. If any roll is higher than the number of hordes, there's just 1. So yes. They lose half their numbers back to the supply. Okay. Now we got a very lucky string of rolls, which might just saved us and allowed us a chance at victory in the next 2 turns, because I'm going to play Famine 3. So I'm going to get 3 dice and I'm heading into East Africa with 2 junks and 3 no 1 gold. So I need to get less than either 1 or a 2 off 3 dice. Wow. Oh, we got it. 4 hearts in my mouth. Excellent. Okie dokie. They get a reaction event. It's a level 3. So, a level 2 reaction. This is empty, so I'm going to have to shuffle up. And they're getting an attack. It's going to be this one, isn't it? Yeah. This is a tiebreaker. Oh, they could still steal the victory here, you know. They got a double 2. So yes. Better than the double 2 is what we need. Where's that 2? Double 2. A single 6. Alright, they've kicked us out. And now they get a level 1. Move 1 horde into the most favoured adjacent barbarian, which is going to be this one, I think. So there's no empty borderland. This one does have a settlement in it. This one's adjacent, but nobody can move there. So that move's going to be discarded and not used. Yep, job done. Okay, their turn. They're going to play this Rumour 2. This is a level 2 event. Gather 2. exactly 2 settlements from supply, which they can't do. Exactly 2 hordes from the supply, amass 2. And it's going to go in 1 and 3, whichever is the least. And then the next one in the middle. Okay, now they're level 1 event. Gather. Take 1 settlement and place it in a single homeland. First choose the homeland with the least settlements. So here. Alright, now we get to react. Move up to 2 hordes from a borderland into an adjacent barbarian controlled borderland. So I'm going to move this back here, where it can do no harm. Alright, now we've survived. Let's draw. I'm hoping for some 3s. Yes, we've got 2 3s. And I want a voyage in here, don't I? Oh, hang on. Advancement 3. Make a voyage with up to 3 rolls, deducting 1 from each result. This is what we're doing. Event number 1. Alright, this is for the game. 3 rolls, we got 3 dice. So we would normally need less than 4. So now we need less than 5. A 1, 2, a 3 or a 4 will do it for the game. Ready? Yay! Yeah, sorted. Wow. That's it. We are victorious. And ooh, that was close. That was close. Managing to push them out was a great last move. And then, because I think this time around, they certainly would have wrapped up the game, I think. Yeah, very close indeed. A superb little game. I love it. Really good job. Great job, guys. So look out for this. This is a pocket campaign from Surprise Stare for 1 or 2 players. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration. See you next time.